One of the quickest ways to gain performance benefits and decrease the complexity of the logic in your front-end application is to use data orchestration. In this video, I'm going to show you what data orchestration is and how to implement it in your Vue storefront application. Let's take a look at a typical task for an e-commerce application. And this will be showing invoices to the end user. We'll start by making a request to the auth service so that we can get a token that represents the user. Then we'll make a request to an e-commerce backend like Magento or SAP in order to get a list of order IDs so that we can make a request with those to an invoicing service, because this particular application has very demanding invoicing requirements. This is a lot of network requests and logic to be held in your front-end application. So a better way would be to make one request to a middleware and then house all of that logic in the middleware application. And this allows you to orchestrate the data on the middleware and only make that one request that will go to and from the front-end application. And it will decrease the complexity on that front-end application because it only needs to know how to make that one request, not how to orchestrate between all of these different services. So what will that look like in a real-world application? Here we have a very typical middleware.config.ts in a Vue storefront application. You'll notice the three integrations that I already mentioned earlier. And the fourth integration is just because I like to have a dedicated integration just for orchestration purposes. But you could very well extend any one of these integrations and get the exact same thing done. So here you'll notice we have an extends API methods, and that is where you will add the methods for orchestration. First, we will hit the auth server, as I said earlier. Then we will fetch a list of orders from our e-commerce provider. We'll extract just the IDs from that, and then we will send those to our invoice provider, and then we'll return those invoice IDs. So let's take a look at how we will do that. In the context, attached to the context, we have the get API client. And then we pass a string which represents one of our integrations. That's this one here. And then we can add the types. Once we have that client, it's the same as if we were using that client in any one of the integrations by itself. So we have access to all of the methods from that client, and it's already set up and ready to make API requests to this backend service. We'll grab the auth token. Of course, we can pass the parameters. We pass our credentials from the front end. And then we will use that auth token to make a request to our commerce client, and we will get a list of our orders. We'll extract all of the order IDs, and then we will pass those order IDs to our invoice service where we can return a list of invoice links. Now that we have all of those, let's see what a request looks like. Notice we have here the integration is called Mozart and the endpoint is called get invoices. So if we go to make a curl request, for example, we'll see Mozart and get invoices, and then we're passing our credentials. And just like that, you're able to orchestrate between multiple services without burdening your front-end application. I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next one.